This is our purple curl. Really interesting. Acer palmatum, kind of a freak of a tree. The leaves curl in like that. Some are very palmatum. Some are almost shiroswanum like that one. The other ones are very palmatum, like these. They're all very different. It's a little bit of a freak of a tree, which makes it really interesting. It came out totally red in the spring, and then as the summer went on, it gets really variegated with different colors, the greens and the oranges, and it just keeps changing through the whole year. Love it, don't know what it's called. Love it, don't know what it's called. This is the Anabashidari starting to turn. You have all these Japanese maples, but they're not like oak trees or maple trees where everything, regular maple trees you'd see in the woods or things like that. They don't change at the same time. So, you know, they all can change over the next month, month and a half. Some hang on till almost Thanksgiving. This is a Anabashidari lace leaf, and it gets that super bright fire engine red. It's a weeper. Had that for 5 years anyway. At least 5 years, maybe 6 in the pot. It's getting pretty thick. It seems to survive really well. The purple ghost, which is here, comes out brick red in the spring and then gets kind of maroon all summer and mixes with green, I think because it's probably in a lot more shade. This one, as time goes by, will get fire engine red over the next month or so. Really great variegated leaves. This is light o'day hydrangea with variegated leaves. We've had this for probably 14 years, I think. We had it at another house and moved it here. And it's got the variegated leaves, and these little florets come out blue in the summer. The unusual thing about this is it comes out in early mid-April when almost nothing else is coming out down here, and even when we get a freeze, it still doesn't die back, where other things like Nico Blue or Zorro, which is here, which is another cool one, that the leaves would die back. And we've had several years when that happens, but it doesn't die back. What else is interesting? Just had a really good nor'easter with the wind and nothing got ruined. This is summer gold, Japanese maple. Acer shiroswanum. And it starts out kind of chartreuse in the spring. It actually gets more yellow as the summer goes on, and can deal with a lot of sun too. So it's out in the hot afternoon sun here. This is our Orion, Japanese maple. Comes out kind of reddish green in the spring, and like a lot of them, changes colors all through the summer. And we just did a root prune on that in the spring and root washed it. So it's got a little bit of burn on it this year. It's kind of a tougher year that first year once we do that. Takes it a little while to get reacclimated. And this is our Ryusen. It's a weeper. It's going to weep all the way down to the ground and maybe out on the ground a little bit eventually. And it's starting to turn its fall red. Just trying to find a few things to talk about. This is our Skylands. Skylands gets maybe 20-25 feet tall. It's a Picea orientalis that, as long as it's in enough sun, will stay really yellow like this. And this year it had crazy amount of red cones on it. It had so many red cones it was completely drooped. And the tops were completely drooped over instead of being kind of out like that. They're all completely drooped down. This is a fast form. So this is our Skylands. Skylands. Remember Skylands. So this is a fast form, Chemiciferous fast form, which is really unique compared to a lot of other, like Chemiciferous obtusa. This is Nana. Right here has the brighter green tips on it, kind of the typical form that most Chemiciferous look like. This has really great little berries on it, but also it's very flat. All the branches are very flat, and it's almost got a bluish tinge to it, very different than all the other ones. Really unique, really tight too. It's really super tight and flat. This is our bihu. It's a small bihu we got. Has the orange and yellowish twigs in winter, and in summer it's basically a green tree. But once you get into September or so, it already starts to get more light green and yellow. It's a change that takes almost 2 months to go through, and they work good on the Cape. If it's a colder, I think we're zone 7A, I think, and if they are in a colder like zone 6 or inland in New England, they don't last very long. They have problems keeping them alive. So remember the Skylands. So this is a different version of the Skylands. There is a version that's smaller than the Skylands. The Skylands that I showed will grow 25 feet tall eventually and 8 feet wide over time. Then there is a smaller one, gets maybe 10 or 12 feet tall, and that is called Firefly. So it looks the same, but only half as tall. And then there's this, which we just got a little while ago, which is called Lil Sky, Lil Sky. And this one, over 10 or 15 years, might get 3 or 4 feet tall. So it's nice to tuck in anywhere. It's a nice shoddy yellow, again, as long as it's in the sun, and really is accentuated with the red dragon Japanese maple behind it, and the black dragon cryptomeria here too. Both of these we've had in there for probably 6 years, I think. This is an upland spruce that we're going to have to find where to put it. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go, but it'll go somewhere. This is our Mike's Dwarf umbrella pine. Interesting thing about this. So this is Mike's Dwarf umbrella pine, and this is kind of your species umbrella pine over here. And this one, they call it an umbrella pine because the tips look like the skeleton of an umbrella, more or less, right? And this one will get 20 feet tall eventually. It's probably 10 feet tall now. 20 feet tall, 8 feet wide, maybe a little bigger. But it's the species version of the umbrella pine. And this one in the front here is almost similar to the Little Sky in that it's the miniature version, not even just a dwarf version, a miniature version of an umbrella pine. So this one in 20 or 25 years might get 3 or 4 feet tall. Really cool, really dense, same needle structure, really unique. This is dandelion. And you can see this one it's green, but it's got yellow in the needles, and it is a cross between the gold drift over here, Norway spruce, I think. So this is the gold drift, so this has gold in it, and it's weeping, so we staked it up as tall as we wanted, and now we're letting it just droop down. It'll droop down and be a skirt on the ground. But the dandelion is really neat in that it's a cross between that gold drift and an acrocona. So it's got this great structure to it, and it's got the weeping part of it, but it's got the great structure of an acrocona. An acrocona would be a significant size tree, so it's kind of a neat cross of all those things. There's a different umbrella pine we have over here. Probably will stay smaller. It's very chartreuse and yellow. It's kind of going a little more chartreuse now, but you can see the needles on this are yellow. This one's supposed to get maybe 10 or 15 feet tall, 6 or 8 feet wide eventually. A little slower growing than the species because of the variegation or the lack of chlorophyll in the yellow, but also very neat. One that we also got recently is the Make It Twist or Maxi Twist. I can't remember what it's called. I really can't find anything on it. It was kind of a one-off that we found. Has super twisted needles. It's basically a white pine with super twisted needles and kind of twisted branches. And they're there's like a white line variegation in it, and a very kind of bluish tinge to the whole thing overall. And just the yellow on it now is just its fall, kind of sloughing off of older needles. These are we have 3 Hollywood junipers. Very unique, very cool shape. They just kind of go all over the place in all directions and kind of grow up all kind of squirrely directions wherever they feel like. This one had just one big branch going up over here for the longest time, and it had almost a balancing branch going out this way, and now it has another branch kind of balancing out the weight of it. And they get, the biggest ones we've seen are maybe, this is probably 8 feet tall, maybe 10 or 12 feet tall, but we haven't seen one get bigger than that. They just keep filling in and twisting around, and really architectural. We have that one there, which might have been kind of hard to see. And then we have, like this one by the side of the building here, which is just really starting to get going with its kind of twistiness. Really great color. The only thing we run into, I don't know if it's a maturity thing or not, is when we get kind of a heavy wet snow, we have to stake them up. Otherwise they literally will get bent all the way to the ground. They take a while to kind of grow back. This is Schemia. These are great. I haven't seen these very often. You see them once in a while. So it's a male and a female. So the female is with the berries, obviously, and the male in the fall comes out with the flowers, and the flowers sit all winter long and then burst out early in the spring to meet the flowers on the female, which are also kind of out a little bit, but the berries are great. Birds don't seem to love them. They seem to love them when there's nothing else left, but that's the story with that. This is our wedding, it's wedding bells or wedding gown hydrangea. We've had these for a while. They're really slow growing, really stiff lace leaf. Come out white early in the season, and the pollinators love them. But what happens is, it seems like with all of ours, whether in the shade or not, they don't do well in the sun. They do better in a lot of shade. Otherwise they burn. But even in the shade, these little middle parts here burn out almost no matter what. They just kind of dry out. But by fall, the white fades to this, just cherry red. And they do it every year. They're really great, really strong. Seems like even in really bad winters, they do really well. Another one I wanted to show up here was we have a beauty berry in the back I'll show next. But this is also a beauty berry, but it's pearl glam, which is a lot different than the other beauty berry. So this is pearl glam, and the leaves are kind of a darker green in the summertime, and they have white flowers that come out where all these super brilliant berries are. And then berries come out white and stay white for most of the summer, and as we get into September they turn this bright purple, and the leaves, as we go in more into the fall, start changing all these great oranges and bright reds. Really cool. And it's very narrow too. I've had this one for a few years, and I think it's olive, not even 3 feet wide, and still 6 feet tall. Unlike the regular beautyberry, there's the regular American beautyberry that we have back here. Right here, that can almost cut down to the ground every year, and it still has these great bright chartreuse leaves that stay pretty chartreuse all through the year. Same white flowers, same bright berries. It seems like the birds like these. These seem to go fairly early in the winter, but it gets pretty big. It's like probably 6 feet wide here and almost 5 feet tall, and that's after being cut way back. So I think it's native, so it does really well versus the cultivar of the Pearl Glam. I just wanted to show a couple things sometimes that people ask to see. So, and one thing that I really like that nobody ever talks about, it seems, is we have this Chinese ginger back in here, full shade anywhere we have it, and they stay. They don't have rhizomes, I guess, whatever it is, that shoot under the ground like regular ginger can do and take over an area and get everywhere. These stay in their spot. They get, 2 feet wide and a foot tall. They have great leaves, and they stay like that all winter long. In the spring, they kind of die back early in the spring a little bit. They have like this brown flower that isn't very dramatic, and then they come right back. And even in the worst winters, they'll get like beat up and still come back. But for a good portion of the winter, if like down here on the Cape, they don't get covered with snow that much, but if they get covered with snow, they get a little beat up. But if they don't, even in the super cold weather, they stay just like this. Really cool. One thing I also like, I don't know if some people don't like, maybe because it does travel a bit, is like the black sedge grass, or the black mondo grass and the other grasses. We love them because they'll just fill in this whole area eventually over a couple of years. I think these have been here maybe 2 years, and they're already starting to procreate, I guess is the word. So I think that is it for right now. I think that's it. So just wanted to show a few things that get talked about. I want to give a little detail on them, but that's it.